SDN and NFV are as much about business transformation as they are about network transformation. So what should service providers do to take full advantage of the benefits offered by SDN and NFV?
I think service providers have evolved over the last 100 years. They started as very voice-centric. For the last 20, 30 years, it has been a very data-centric world. But as we move forward, it's going to be in an application-centric world. And what they really need to do from a business perspective is take forward the value that SDN and NFV can bring to them in terms of how they compete with new competitors, how they compete with the over-the-top providers, such that with legacy networks where they have multiple different silos which provide very, very good benefits for the customers, in the new world where it's very application and cloud-centric, they need to take the business decisions to do that now.
Businesses need to transform the way they operate. So the whole operating model evolution, we touch about that a lot. I think that's happening. So the internal changes, I think, are well in progress at many organizations. We started very early, so we have the benefits, and we see it happening. What we see happening next is really transforming the way we do business with our customers. So the whole customer experience piece is now in motion. I think the portfolio teams understand the benefits of having more flexible underlying platforms to deliver service to customers. So that part of the transformation, which was also very static in the past with long established roadmaps, planning over 18 months, a very static customer experience, moving to an online customer experience. This whole thing is happening right now, and it's enabled by those underlying building blocks, SDN and NFV being two of them. But I think honestly, there's many more of those building blocks that we are transforming in the industry at the moment.
The need to adopt these technologies to get more agile in their business is great. But if they're really going to adopt it, the real challenge right now is actually getting the teams aligned, because I think we're talking now about something that crosses IT and network and demands some new sort of ways of working, some new challenges. So we've seen NFV being trialled and tested in the CTO organization, in R&D facilities. As we now try and bring that out into the live environment, it's how do I bring operational teams together? How do I cross-train and really bring different skills to play in this whole transformation?
In our case, we think that it shouldn't be traumatic, and it should be by convincing of the advantages, not by imposing that new technology just because it's cool or because it seems to be the trend of the industry. It's something that needs to be gradual. That's why we want to start with the low-hanging fruits, to get involved the company, and once that transformation is in motion, you can stop it, because everyone is demanding that instead of stopping that.
Today, every order goes through rigorous steps of margin analysis and technical design, diagrams, quotes, signed order forms. Those are valid if you deliver service for a year, but they cannot be valid if you deliver a service for an hour with the 5 minutes notice. We're moving into a new phase, and this new phase of on-demand service delivery through network programmability requires a new view on your network, on your resources, and on the way you deliver them and monetize them.
For us, SDN has allowed us to have different conversations with the customers. Right? Historically, as carriers, we go in and we sell a circuit from A to B. And now when we go in and we talk to customers, we're talking about how can their applications, how can we help them meet their specific business needs and be able to have the applications themselves determine what paths to use, what network performances they need, how can we shorten time to resolution for issues for the customer. It's allowed us to become more of a partner with our customers and be able to build a deeper relationship than we have in the past. We were in the middle of changing some back-end systems. We were upgrading our network from 10 to 100 gig, which dramatically increased the bandwidth across our subsea backbone. And we were able to leverage all of those things at the same time and create an overlay network. So unlike the traditional, or what we hear frequently, the truck roll, forklift replacement of all of our equipment, we've been able to layer SDN infrastructure on top of our existing hardware and provide a better solution overall to the customer. So it was a fairly easy, but it was a very dramatic change for the company.
This is a cultural change. We have the old regime, but that is the regime that's currently running the company. And those are talented people. And obviously, the intent is to keep talented people in the organization, but You have to teach old dogs new tricks, and that might be complex. It's not impossible. It's very possible, but it might be complex.
We're taking a company that is network-centric, really good Cisco engineers, Juniper engineers, people that really understand how to make networks work, and now we're teaching them how to actually program those devices natively, and to be able to support not only our internal infrastructure, but when our customers call and they're using our API, now we need to interact with the customer directly and start to be able to support services at a much deeper level than we have in the past.
To think about when they go through this transformation using SDN and NFV, one is rethink business models and markets that they can address. The capabilities that you get from these technologies allow you to target business models that you could never have imagined possible before. So it's not just the consumer market or the enterprise market. You could go and segment and go after verticals that they have not even thought about.
The changes in purchasing and the changes in deployment bring about changes in operations. There needs to be a review of operations, how operators go about deploying services, how they go about building services. It should be much faster for them to be able to deploy and deliver new services, and that's certainly one of the goals of SDN and NFV. Learning how to monetize, learning how to create value on top of this infrastructure. The whole purpose of this is to increase revenue streams or create new revenue streams for operators. Understanding the new business models that they need to apply when bringing up new services, I think, is critical.